everybody, good morning. It is Steve Lookner with Agenda Free TV. We are here to cover President Biden addressing the nation about the election. You can see a live shot of the White House there. Hey, look, I also have a live shot of Mar-a-Lago. Where's my live shot of Mar-a-Lago? Hey, it's Mar-a-Lago. Look, it's security at Mar-a-Lago. My guess is that might be Secret Service, but I'm not sure. So that's Mar-a-Lago in Florida. That's an interesting shot. And we have the White House as well. I could put both shots up. Maybe we should do that. Should we have both shots on the screen at once? What I could do is I could do this. Then I take this. Let's see. One sec. Where did the other one go? Okay. Oh, I see. Hold on. We'll figure this out. We'll figure this out. All right. I got to put this one. Where's the other one? Oh, I see. We want this on the top. Okay. All right, so that's Mar-a-Lago, and then we'll put this one here. Where should I put it? I know what I'll do. How about that? Does that seem better? I figure people might want to see both of them. What do you think, chat? Would you like to have just one shot, or would you like to have both shots? I'm asking the chat what they think. See what the chat says. Fine to me. All right, people want to have both of them. Both. Why are we showing Mar-a-Lago? Because Trump was just elected president, and this was about the election, this stream. And that's where he lives, and I think where he is now. Everybody's saying both in the chat. Everybody wants both. Also, I mean, the White House shot, there's not much going on in that shot right now, so I can show you. There's more to see in the other shot. I think it's interesting. So we are here live. We're going to bring you live coverage of the Biden address and take your comments on it. And Terry Rose says, does Trump get full protection now? I would think so as president-elect. I don't know specifically. Biden is speaking about the election. He's going to speak about the election. We'll talk about that. Hold on a second here. Hey, thanks to our moderators. We have moderating right now. We have Carms is moderating. Robert's Mayqueen. Thank you. We have moderating. Hold on. I want to thank our other moderators here. Linda Belk and Larry. We have moderating Big Ball of Yarn and Surly Dev. Hey, thanks to Breed for your support on Twitch. And we have moderating your support on Twitch. Two of me. Kay Lowry Body is moderating. Thanks, Kay. Associated Press says Biden to deliver remarks following Trump's win. It's a pretty short article. That's what they say. Biden to deliver. Oh, yeah. A Rose Garden address. Oh, look, guys. Look at this. Biden will deliver a Rose Garden address at 11 a.m. The remarks to the nation will be Biden's first appearance on camera in the aftermath of Trump's decisive victory over Harris. It also says Donald Trump spent his first day as president-elect receiving congratulatory phone calls from his defeated opponent, world leaders, and President Biden as he began the process of turning his election victory into a government. Uh, 50 minutes, 50. The clock is literally in the headline when Biden is going to speak. So we'll bring you some updates about the election. We'll take some comments from you guys, and then we will watch Biden and listen to Biden speak. Let me show you the election map, by the way. I should show you that too. Carl West thinks the U.S. economy is going to collapse soon. That's what Carl thinks. Where is our election map? Hey, look, it's the election map. Reuters still hasn't called Arizona and Nevada. I thought AP called Arizona, or maybe Decision Desk HQ called Arizona. Anyways, with 70% of votes counted. See, if it was really close and it hadn't been decided yet and it had all come out down to Arizona, we'd still be waiting for these votes in Arizona. But Trump is winning by 5.5% in Arizona with 70% of votes counted. And in Nevada, 94% of votes counted. Trump is winning by 4.8%. And in Maine, he's losing, but all the votes are not counted there. Harris is winning by 7.6%. But Trump will probably get one electoral vote there. Last I checked, Trump was winning one of the congressional districts, which means he gets one electoral vote. Yeah, AP has Trump getting one in Maine District 2. According to AP, Trump is up by 8.5% there. So he'll get one vote. He'll get one from Maine. They haven't awarded it here. So he's probably going to get 11, 6, and 1, 312 when this is all said and done. And then Fagan says slowest counters in the world. I don't know what the deal is with Arizona. Maybe it's like mail votes and they take a while to count their mail votes or something. The Arizona Republic says that early ballots get dropped off on election day at the polls, and that adds days. But what the Arizona Central said is there's a new, starting in 2026 in Arizona, it says if you drop off your ballot the day of, on election day, you will have the option to show your ID and then feed your ballot directly into the machine. Because normally they have to check, it takes hours to check the validity of the voter's signature on the envelope. That's interesting. They say, Arizona Central, that that's just, Arizona elections are known for having this delay. They have a lot of options, but again, they say a lot of people drop off their ballots. They drop off their ballots on election day at the polls. They drop them off, and then the signatures have to get verified. Okay. Anyways, that's a brief explanation of why it takes a long time in Arizona, according to Arizona Central. But apparently, starting in 2026, that might get faster because people are going to be given an option to show their ID when they turn in their ballot on election day, and then instead of just dropping it in a box and then it can get fed directly into the machine tabulator. ShadowNet says, is it normal for 2 concession speeches? Well, President Biden isn't making a concession speech because he wasn't running. So it's not a concession speech. But is it normal? I don't know. I'd have to go back and see, is it normal? It's kind of a weird situation because a lot of times a president would be, I mean, there are only so many presidential elections. And for a number of them, the sitting president would actually be running. So this is this interesting case where you have the sitting president not running, right? So I don't know how many situations like this there have been, even since TV was invented. Well, even in like the 20th century. I'd have to go back and look, but a lot of times you'd have the person running and the sitting president would not be different people. But also I think, probably he wants to speak because Fred Flintstone says he should give a unity speech. He probably wants to speak because, there's been such tension about the election and disagreement and things like that. Oh, anyways, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be stuck on the map. Oh, in a second, I'll check the Senate and the House races. I think in Nevada, it might be a thing where they allow mail-in ballots to come in late, as long as they're postmarked by Election Day. So, KSNV says that there are a large number of mail ballots that have signature issues that need curing. And also, there are a number of people who did same-day voter registration, and they got a provisional ballot when they did that on Election Day, and then officials have to verify their voter information and make sure they didn't cast more than one ballot. So according to KSNV, those are a couple reasons why in Nevada they're not done yet. Oh, there's security at Mar-a-Lago. See the security boat at Mar-a-Lago? Again, I think that's a government security boat. It says Coast Guard. It's the Coast Guard, U.S. Coast Guard. Look, it's the U.S. Coast Guard. Curing a mail ballot is when a voter makes a mistake on a mail ballot, and then there's a process to help them correct the mistake so their ballot can count. That's called curing. Hey, look, it's the Coast Guard. Goose Fraba says that boat goes back and forth every 4 minutes. Tom Kearney says, what a stark image. Mitchell says, a lot of firepower in a little boat. Thank you to Gabriel Morrow for your support. Gabriel says, I wonder how the absentee vote went. Do you mean like in Nevada and Arizona? Thank you, Gabriel Morrow. Thank you, Bella Zadist, for your support as a member. And thank you, Jesus UCSB, for your support. Thank you, Jesus. Hey, by the way, I want to do something. I want to take about 15 seconds and do a little test with the YouTube chat. How can I do this fast? YouTube, there's some different settings you can use. Called latency, and the latency of settings affect how fast you can see the chat, but also how much buffer is built into how much. Basically, lower latency means you can see the chat faster, but there's more of a risk of buffering. And yesterday, I believe we had some issues with YouTube during the Kamala Harris speech because of the network on YouTube got so busy. It was fine on the other platforms. So as a test, I'm trying a different latency setting. So really quick, people in the YouTube chat, you don't all have to do this, but I'm going to say a number. And when I say it, if you can just type the number in the chat and press enter. And what that'll let me do is see what kind of delay there is if I use this latency setting. I'm doing a little test with the latency today. Basically, I set it at a setting where it's less likely to buffer, but it'll take me longer to see your chat messages. I prefer to see your chat messages sooner on all the platforms, but YouTube can be an issue with buffering. All right, I'm going to say a number right now, YouTube, really quick, and I want you to type it in and just say enter, just some of you. Ready? Here, the number is 6. Type in 6 now and press enter, somebody on YouTube. Yeah, all right. It takes about 8 seconds or so. Okay, thanks, YouTube. Yeah, it takes about 7 or 8 seconds. It's not crazy. There you go. Now, yeah, everybody types it in now. So, yeah, I don't want to get too into to hijack the stream with this, but what I think I can do is just, if we're covering some event that is going to be like a speech where I think a ton of people are going to watch it, maybe I'll try to use the reduced latency generally, but at least. Yeah, at least normally I would use the lesser latency, but if there's another event like yesterday where it's going to be like a speech that everybody watches, maybe I'll go with this latency setting just to make sure we don't have the buffering issue or try to help with that. But anyways, I don't want to get all caught up in that, but thank you for helping me test it. Hey, President Biden is speaking in... The other platforms, we should be fine. President Biden is speaking in 36 minutes. From the Rose Garden. So we're going to cover that. I'll take some more comments and questions from you guys. Melanie Richardson says, I just don't understand the division in this country. It's pretty divided, Melanie. Well, for a lot of people it is. She says, I registered as a Democrat at 18 in the state of Louisiana, and I don't remember a lot of the ugliness. Denise Jones over on Facebook says Trump has full presidential security now. It sounds right to me. I don't know the exact procedures, so I can't confirm, but that certainly sounds correct. Cami Duda over on Facebook says, I think it is very appropriate and presidential for Biden to speak to the nation today. Jennifer Ehlers on Facebook says, this is happening so quickly. The last few days have been a roller coaster. Gunkel Official says division is good. China is not divided. Having different ideas and thoughts on topics is normal and healthy. Mort 730 says buckle up. The next 4 years will be even wilder. Integrity Farmer Bob said a presidency where he isn't getting impeached and blocked constantly will be to how to really judge how Trump did. Wasn't the first 2 years of his presidency a Republican Congress, if I remember correctly? Am I wrong? Didn't Republicans have control of Congress between 2016 and 2018? Some people are saying yes. We got some reporters over there in Mar-a-Lago. Sharon Heberling, thanks for watching, Sharon. I should also check, while we're waiting for Biden to speak, I should also check and make sure I'm not missing any breaking news here. Biden is speaking at the White House in the Rose Garden. We will have that live for you. Give me one moment. Give me one moment here. Maybe I can get you some more details on his speech. I haven't seen many details on his speech. I've just seen that he's going to speak about the election. Let's see here. I haven't seen many details about what he is going to say. What do you think he's going to... Do you guys think there's anything... Let me know in the chat if you think there's anything specific he's going to say. Anything surprising he might say, or something you might want him to say. There's also, something else that's going on now is a little bit of blame game in the Democratic Party. Here's an article from AP. Biden gets blamed by Harris allies for the vice president's resounding loss to Trump. Oh, look at the video there. Looks like... Now, I don't know if that thing is always there. Maybe it is because he's former president. United States Secret Service. U.S. Secret Service. I'm guessing that's been there for a little while. U.S. Secret Service. It's a U.S. Secret Service thing. Silver Sergeant says, I hope he avoids any garbage talk. Watchtower. Yes, Natso Clove. It is a watchtower. Looks like an at a little bit. Oh, thank you to Mike the Nice Weiss. Mike the Nice Weiss. Thanks for your support. Also, Sharona, our member. Thank you, Sharona. Speedy Squirrel from the UAE. Wow, that's cool. Smiley, thanks for your support. Smiley9579. Crystal Hughes, our member. Thank you. Oh, Gabriel Morrow said, did the absentee vote swing the election? I don't know about how absentee votes were but compared to other votes. Hey, look, it's the Coast Guard. It's the Coast Guard boat outside of Mar-a-Lago. That's why part of why I'm showing you this shot, because it's interesting video. It's the Coast Guard boat outside of Mar-a-Lago. Did I forget what the things in Star Wars were called? I thought it was AT-AT, but this was decades ago. No, AT-AT Walker. Literally looking up, Star Wars vehicle AT-AT Walker. I just looked it up. D. Maynard thinks that Democratic Party leaders should be blamed for just crowning the nominee. Let me show you a little from this here, real quick. Biden gets blamed by Harris allies for vice president's resounding loss to Trump. AP says, as Democrats pick up the pieces after Trump's victory, some of the vice president's backers are expressing frustration that Biden's decision to seek re-election until this summer, despite longstanding voter concerns about his age and unease about post-pandemic inflation as well as the U.S.-Mexico border, all but sealed his party's surrender of the White House. Andrew Yang, who ran against Biden in 2020, said the biggest onus is on President Biden. If he had stepped down in January instead of July, we may be in a very different place. I have no idea. Hey, look, it's people. This is at Mar-a-Lago from what Reuters says. Looks like they're going to play tennis or something. Or golf. No, tennis. They have tennis rackets. Would it have made a difference if Biden had said, I'm not going to run from the get-go, I have no idea. If Democrats had actually had a full campaign with a primary process between multiple candidates, multiple viable candidates, that I don't know. Procrastinating Painter says, do you think it's possible for Biden to declare his duty as president to protect the country and to prevent Trump from swearing in? No. No, I don't. Realistically possible? No. I mean, he can physically utter the words with his mouth if he wanted to, but no, it's not. Not going to happen. Hey, thank you, Procrastinating Painter, for your support. It's a Tesla Cybertruck that just drove by. Janice thinks there would have been no difference. I'm going to do a poll in the chat. Now, from the comments today, I think I know what the results of the poll is going to be. Because it seems like there's a lot of Trump fans in the chat right now. Maybe I'm wrong, though. But, because I'm going to ask, would the result have been, could it have made a significant difference if the Democrats had a regular primary? So how do I say this? If Biden had not run again from the start. No, I'm just going to ask the question. I'll just ask it. By the way, I found out about this thing on Twitch called predictions. I didn't even know about this. Twitch predictions. A viewer told me about it. Where there's the boat, Coast Guard boat. Okay, on Twitch, the way I'm going to ask the question on Twitch, because it doesn't let me ask long poll questions, is made big difference if Biden hadn't run again from start? I'm going to ask the kind of abbreviated version of the question on Twitch, the poll question. But on Twitch, there's a thing where you can make a prediction, and then you get channel points for like watching the channel, and then you can win channel points by making the prediction. People on Twitch know about this. It's not a thing with money, it's just channel points. But maybe we'll do that at some point on Twitch. We'll try it. I've never done it. Is it gambling? Because I thought it was just like channel points, like it's just like those are just fun points you get. That's just fun points you get for like watching the channel. No? So, Holistic says the points are just free points. Or do you buy channel points? No, another one of our viewers, Device, says it's just fun points on Twitch. Yay Matena says channel points are just emotional currency. No real money, says Alper. Okay. The points are free and you get them for watching. So we might do a little fun thing at some point on Twitch where we have a prediction instead of a poll. Let me show you. Let me show you what people said it to our in the results of our poll here. I said, could it have made a big difference if Biden had not run from the start? And on YouTube, so the Democrats would have had like a full campaign to like pick a different candidate. YouTube, 39% say yes, 61% say no. And then on Twitch, but half and half on Twitch. %54 say no, 46% yes on Twitch. Hang on a moment here. Give me one moment. I know. I had to write it more short in the Twitch poll because Twitch doesn't allow long questions for their polls. Hang on, I'm just doing a quick check here. Make sure I'm not missing any breaking news. Uh, 19 minutes till Biden speaks. Hey, thank you so much to Alex Price for your support. Thank you, Alex Price. Alex Price says, as someone who wanted Bernie, the absolute constant disrespect to Democratic voters was it for me. Alex says, it's been the DNC's behavior since 2016. Thanks, Careless Whispers, for your support. Lucky Lady, thank you for your support. Eric, hey, thanks, Eric. I'm glad you guys watched the channel at your party and you found the coverage helpful. Your election party. Thank you, Camus. Camus thinks president should only serve one term. All these people are too old, says Camus. All right, I'm going to end the poll. Thanks for voting in the poll. 62% said no on YouTube. 57% said no on Twitch as to whether it might have made a big difference if Biden had not run from the start for a second term instead of running and dropping out. All right, we have 18 minutes and 28 seconds. Hey, thanks so much to our moderators who are here. We have moderating right now. We have moderating Roberts Mayqueen, Carms, Linda Belk Larry, A Moment of Lovely, Big Ball of Yarn, Good Luck Duck, I Got That Fire, Surly Dev, Charlotte Webb, K. Lowry Body. Really appreciate all of our moderators who are here. Thank you. Give me one moment here. Thanks to Trace. Trace said, I heard the economy will get worse for a bit. I have no idea. I have no idea. I don't even know what policies are going to change. We don't even know what policies are going to change. I think the thing you might be referring to, one of our viewers, maybe our viewer is referring to, hold on, if I can find it here. Can I find it here? I don't want to get all into this now, but Elon Musk had said like a week ago that Trump's plans to reduce to put the U.S. on firmer fiscal footing, I don't know if that'll actually happen, would likely entail temporary hardship. Yeah, I didn't hear that whole thing about what he said, so I think there were some news articles written on that. Maybe that's what our viewer was referring to. Hey, we have 15 minutes till Biden speaks. If he starts on time. 15 minutes. Oh, sorry, I was just going to make sure I wasn't missing any other breaking news updates here. Thank you, Gabriel Morrow. Gabriel, I'll check my messages shortly. Thank you so much, Gabriel Morrow, for your support. Oh, this is interesting. Decision Desk HQ projected that Jackie Rosen would win the Senate election in Nevada. So I just saw that. So Nevada was, it's looking like Biden is going to lose Nevada right now. Not Biden, Harris is going to lose Nevada. But Jackie Rosen in a close race there. Jackie Rosen has taken the lead by 13,000 votes. So that looks like it's going to be one of these states where there's a bit of a split, where there was a split result where Harris loses, but the Democratic Senate candidate wins. That's been a close race there. Decision Desk HQ called it for her, which is an election site. Reuters hasn't called it yet. Now, Michigan was similar. See, in Michigan, Alyssa Slotkin that's been called for the Democrat there, the senator. You can see she's winning by 16,000 votes. Even though Harris lost Michigan. So, look, there's another election in 2 years. It could turn out that those two seats, maybe those two seats right there are the difference in 2 years of the Democrats taking the Senate back. That's two seats right there where Harris lost presumably she's going to lose in Nevada, where Harris presumably loses both states, but the Democrat barely wins for Senate. Which is interesting. And the House, by the way, it's looking like the Republicans are going to control the House. Right now they have 208 seats. They need 218 for a majority. And if you look down here on the Reuters map, they are winning in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. They're currently leading in 15 races, which would put them at 223. I don't know if they're going to win all those races, but if they win all the races they're leading in, they'd get 223 and they need 218. 11 minutes left. 11 minutes till Biden speaks. April Coco says, what will Biden's legacy be now? I was thinking about that today, April Coco. Because I think if Harris had won, then a big part of his legacy would be like, wow, he stepped down and he was willing to step down so that another Democrat could win. But the Democrat lost. So now you have, I just showed you an article in AP where they said some Democrats are blaming him for not stepping down sooner, or for instead of running, just not running again. Hey, it's the Secret Service Watchtower. It's a good question. I don't know how history will remember this all for him. Obviously that's more, his legacy is more than that one choice. Severin thinks Biden might have won. Christopher Reed says he was forced out. Thank you, MV Mason, for your support. I really appreciate it. MV Mason, thank you. Also, Camus. Thank you, Camus, for your support. Give me one moment. Give me one moment. Gabriel wanted to know about the expat vote. I don't have information about the expat vote. I don't know how many of those votes there are. People who live outside the U.S. But are U.S. citizens. I don't know anything about that. And then they request absentee ballots. I don't know how many there are. Time magazine had said a few days ago that there are 2.8 million people who are eligible to vote who live outside the U.S. So it's an interesting question. I don't know if there's. I haven't seen information on how many of them voted, and according to this article in Time magazine from 5 days ago, they said in 2020, 7.8% of eligible overseas Americans cast ballots in 2020 and 3.4% in the 2022 midterms. There's hey, look, it's the Coast Guard outside of Mar-a-Lago. Nico says, Coast Guard ready to rock. Let me really quickly do this. I'm going to get something else on the screen for you. Ready? Ready, guys? Watch this. Watch this. There, look. See, it says remarks. Biden addresses the nation. Put that on the screen for you. He's not speaking yet. We'll get that up there too. Look at this. Look at everything we have for you on our screen right now. One moment, please. Oopsie. So if he starts on time, it's going to be in 5 minutes and 45 seconds. I not know if he's going to start on time. Why isn't Arizona in yet? Arizona's at about 70% turnout. We read an article about that earlier in the broadcast. A big reason in Arizona is that a lot of people bring their ballots and drop them at the polling places, or they drop them off on election day. And then those ballots need to be processed. So, for example, they need to check the signatures on the ballots. And that takes a bunch of time. So, from the article I read, it said a big reason that Arizona takes a while is because of ballots that are dropped off and need to be processed, and they're dropped off on election day. Hold on a second. Hold on a moment. Hold on a moment. What is that? Why is that like this? One moment, please. Okay. We are waiting for Biden to speak. He's going to be in the Rose Garden. He's going to talk about the election and the transition. There's the Coast Guard boat again. There's the Coast Guard boat at Mar-a-Lago. I haven't seen any reporting about what he's specifically going to say. I have not seen any of that yet. Oh, I also saw some reports that Trump might soon name like people in his administration who he's going to have be like his cabinet members. I don't know if that's going to happen soon, but I saw a report that might happen soon, which I thought was interesting. Did I say, but I meant Trump, that Trump would announce this. Thank you to Cindy RN for your support as a member. Thanks, Cindy RN. Thanks also to Sweetums for your support on Twitch. Thanks, Sweetums. Let me do something real quick here. Let me do something real quick. Now, it's very possible that it will not start on time. If you have any predictions about what he's going to say or anything, give me a shout on X or post it in the chat, @Lookner. Daniel Hubble, our viewer, thinks Kamala Harris would not have been the Democratic nominee if there was a full process. Thank you to Daniel Hubble for your comment. They haven't on over there on. Hold on a second here. Give me one moment. Give me one moment. I think we may need to go to. I might go full screen. I think I'm going to go full screen, guys. I think I'm going to go. I think I'm going full screen with the. With this. Here we go. It's time for full screen. It is time for full screen. It's our time to go full screen. Oops. Let me get rid of this. Let me get rid of this one. You know what? You hit that time. Oh, there it is. They went live. White House went live. White House went live. The White House went live. Oh my gosh. They really did. Get ready, everyone. The White House has gone live on their stream, and now we're just waiting for him to speak. Oh, the counter is still on. Oops. I got to take the counter off. Biden to address nation at any moment, guys. Oopsie, I know that looks a little weird. Just fixing our headline. Just fixing our headline. Just fixing the headline. He is going to talk about the election and the transition, guys. That's what he's talking about. The election and the transition. That is what is being reported. I assume he's going to say something like, we need to respect the result, and we should unify behind the new president, and we should not have any political violence. You know, these kind of things. I appreciate you guys joining us for our coverage today. We'll take your comments after he speaks. We'll take your comments about what he said. We'll get your feedback right after. At any moment. I do see that there is, he has not started yet. There are people in the Rose Garden. They're not even all seated yet. But there are people waiting for him in the Rose Garden. April Coco says he's going to say, "I told you so, I was the best choice." This will be his first words on camera. Is it first words on camera since the election? Or first words? Has he posted on his social? I don't know that he's posted on his social media since the election. Well, he did call Trump and congratulate him. We know that. He called Trump and congratulated him. He and Harris both called Trump and congratulated him. Not at the same time. So it has not started yet, because I am looking at a shot of a podium and he's not speaking yet. But I don't want to go away from the live from the live stream. I want to just keep that up on the screen. We'll see. We'll check some of your comments beforehand. He posted something on Facebook. I'm going to check his President Biden. Yeah, so what he said, I didn't even see this post today. 4 hours ago, he said, "This morning I will address the nation to discuss the election results and the transition." He said he's going to discuss the election results and the transition. But on his X account, the only two things he's posted since the election were that, and he also said yesterday he said, "What America saw today was the Kamala Harris I know and deeply admire. She's been a tremendous partner and public servant, full of integrity, courage, and character." He said, "Under extraordinary circumstances, she stepped up and led a historic campaign that embodied what's possible when guided by a strong moral compass and a clear vision for a nation that's more free, more just, and full of more opportunities for all Americans. As I've said before," he said yesterday on his X account, "selecting Kamala was the very first decision I made when I became nominee for president in 2020. It was the best decision I made. Her story represents the best of America's story, and as she made clear today, I have no doubt she'll continue writing that story. She will continue the fight with purpose, determination, and joy. She will continue to be a champion for all Americans. Above all, she will continue to be a leader our children will look up to for generations to come as she puts her stamp on America's future." That's what he said yesterday on X about Kamala Harris. But he has not specifically discussed, at least on his X account, he didn't specifically discuss the election. He said he will be talking about the election results and the transition when he speaks today. Okay, I'm seeing on, again, he's not at the podium yet. There's still some people kind of standing around at the White House in the Rose Garden. We'll see what she has to say, and then we will read your comments about it. I should show you a quick shot of Mar-a-Lago. The boat just went. Well, we were showing that before. I can show it after. It is 11:08. I wonder how late they'll start. It's not going to be like an hour late, right? Ooh, hold on. No. Bomb Dog thinks it will be. I mean, sometimes if there's like a presidential event, even when under Trump it was like this. Sometimes if there's like a press conference or something, it can be like an hour late. But we'll see how late today's is. Mr. Katz thinks it'll be 47 minutes late. Birdman thinks it'll be at least 20 minutes late. About 20 minutes, at least 20 minutes. William thinks it'll be noon. Thanks, Desi Des, for your support. Thanks, Jeremy, for the gift memberships. Wow, that's nice of you. Thank you, Kells. Biden will say, keep fighting, says Kells. Thank you, Kells, for your support. And Marnie. And Gabriel Morrow. And Cindy RN. Thank you. We are waiting for Biden. The country is waiting to hear from President Biden. Marg9 thinks Biden is waiting for more people to come into his channel. One of our viewers said 45 to 47 minutes late. Sahil Kapoor of NBC News just posted some NBC News exit polling information. He said that according to NBC News exit polling, Latino voters in Pennsylvania, in 2020, they were Democrat plus 42, and in 2024, Democrat plus 15. So a 27-point shift to Donald Trump in 4 years for Latino voters in Pennsylvania. That was just posted by Sahil Kapoor. Then we'll have to see what the Republican government, that presumably will have control of the House and the Senate, will do when they get control in January. We are waiting for Biden to speak. He was supposed to speak at 11. It's 11:12 a.m. Like you guys, I am waiting. We'll take your comments after he speaks. He's going to be live at the White House. He's going to be talking about the election and the transition. LCS Fox says late. Really quickly here, let me just do this. Susan Priest-Buchner says, always late. It's so late that one of the news channels I had on just ran a commercial. Adam Fritz thinks it'll be 17 minutes late. Joseph thinks it'll be 11, 18, or 19. I don't want to start changing the subject and getting off on some tangent, because then I'll miss the start of it. Thank you so much, Maddie Ice. Maddie says, I feel like the word fight is a bad choice of words. I hope he used the words unite. He uses the word unite while emphasizing a peaceful transition of power. Bacon Cat says he is fashionably late. Thanks, Corey Bush, for your support. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Skynet says he's never been on time. It does annoy me. It's not just, I mean, this used to happen under Trump too. It's not uncommon. But it bothers me like that they put a time up and then they just never stick to it. How about putting a time up like that actually is like the time it's going to start? Robert Law says, busy man running a country. Hey, maybe there's something he needs to, there could be, maybe there's some important call he needs to take or something going on. That's always possible. Certainly is always possible. One of our viewers said, was there ever a president who was on time? I don't know enough about presidential history to know that. I mean, there's only been TV for a relatively short part of U.S. history. Oh, now for what it's worth, hold on a second. Okay, I actually can see, I can't show it to you, but I'm looking at a live shot of the podium. I have my eyes on a live shot of the podium, which I can't show you right now, but I can see it. He's not at the podium yet. Reuters did go live with their podium shot though, so that suggests to me that we're close. I think we're close, guys. I think we're close. It's looking like we're close. By the way, for those watching here, if you have like your TV on, because you're watching me, and you'll probably see it a second or two on YouTube or Twitch or whatever after your TV. So because I'm getting it and then I send it out to you. So if you see it on your TV slightly before here, that's normal. We are waiting for him. Hey, thank you so much to Zach Beal TV for your support. Hey, Zach, that's really nice of you. Glad you and your girlfriend like the channel. Thank you. Thank you also, Julie S. Hey, that's really kind of you, Julie. Thank you. Huge thanks to all of our moderators. Our moderators are the best. They are awesome. Shout out to our moderators. They're the ones who make it so that we can have chat rooms. And they keep it civil and respectful there. So huge thanks to our moderators. This really should start at any moment. But again, I have my eye on it. I'll let you know when he comes out. The White House, we're watching the White House stream. They will cut like right as he starts. But if I have any idea a few seconds before that he's coming out, I'll let you know. But all signs are that this is about to start. Also, I have to remind myself to change the headline. Sometimes it starts and I forget to change the headline. I got to write this down. If I forget, yell at me in the chat and say, you forgot to change the headline. All right, the country waits. The country waits for Biden. I see the podium. I see people sitting in the Rose Garden at the White House. Will he say anything surprising? I always wonder with these things if the person will say anything surprising. We're close. We're close, guys. It is 11:19. Maybe Trump will have events where he speaks in the next couple months. I had seen a report that he may have a rally, another rally. Thank you so much, Martin G, for your support. Thank you, Martin G. Again, we're going to take your comments after he speaks. We will read your comments on the air about what he says. You can write to me on X @Lookner, but we're going to be reading your comments on the air after he speaks with your take on what he said. He is not at the podium yet. He is not at the podium yet. Wow, one of our viewers thinks it's going to be 11:30. Still, huh? I don't know. Looks like it's ready. I wonder how long he will speak for. Like just a couple minutes? Is he going to take any questions? Maybe he'll feel like taking a few questions. But there are like rows of chairs. This is like it's like a big event. It's like there's rows of chairs in the Rose Garden. Thank you to Sonic Teal for your support. Needs a Kidney says, no way he'll take questions. A lot of our viewers think he's not going to take any questions. If he wants to, he could. Yes, the seats are filled. There are rows of chairs with seats that are filled. Sorry for the delay. Like you, I am waiting. Jazzy Jeff says, waste all of our time. Thank you, Bill Bofnick, for your support. Thanks, Bill. I appreciate that. White Wolf, thanks for subscribing on Twitch. Oh, he's coming out now. He's coming out now. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. All right, it's going to start right now. Hang on a moment. You're going to see it in a second. Just give it a second. It'll start right now. Give it a moment. Give it a moment. We have the White House stream live. There he is.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you. Please. Thank you. Good to see this cabinet and the staff together here. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's good to see you all. Particularly good to see my granddaughter sitting in the front row here. Hi, Finn. How are you, honey? For over 200 years, America has carried on the greatest experiment in self-government in the history of the world. And that's not hyperbole, that's a fact. We're the people. The people vote and choose their own leaders, and they do it peacefully. And we're in a democracy. The will of the people always prevails. Yesterday, I spoke with President-elect Trump to congratulate him on his victory. And I assured him that I'd direct my entire administration to work with his team to ensure a peaceful and orderly transition. That's what the American people deserve. Yesterday, I also spoke with Vice President Harris. She's been a partner and a public servant. She ran an inspiring campaign, and everyone got to see something that I learned early on to respect so much, her character. She has a backbone like a ramrod. She has great character, true character. She gave her whole heart and effort, and she and her entire team should be proud of the campaign they ran. You know, the struggle for the soul of America, since our very founding, has always been an ongoing debate and still vital today. I know for some people, it's a time for victory, to state the obvious. For others, it's a time of loss. Campaigns are contests of competing visions. The country chooses one or the other. We accept the choice the country made. I've said many times, you can't love your country only when you win. You can't love your neighbor only when you agree. Something I hope we can do, no matter who you voted for, is see each other not as adversaries, but as fellow Americans. Bring down the temperature. I also hope we can lay to rest the question about the integrity of the American electoral system. It is honest, it is fair, and it is transparent. And it can be trusted, win or lose. I also hope we can restore the respect for all our election workers who busted their necks and took risks at the outset. We should thank them. Thank them for staffing voting sites, counting the votes, and protecting the very integrity of the election. Many of them are volunteers who do it simply out of love for their country. And as they did their duty as citizens, I will do my duty as president. I'll fulfill my oath, and I will honor the Constitution. On January 20th, we'll have a peaceful transfer of power here in America. To all our incredible staff, supporters, cabinet members, all the people who've been hanging out with me for the last 4 years, God love you, as my mother would say, thank you so much. You put so much into the past 4 years. I know it's a difficult time. You're hurting. I hear you and I see you. But don't forget all that we accomplished. It's been a historic presidency. Not because I'm president, because what we've done, what you've done. A presidency for all Americans. Much of the work we've done is already being felt by the American people, but the vast majority of it will not be felt over the next 10 years. We have legislation we passed that's just only now just really kicking in. We're going to see over $1 trillion worth of infrastructure work done, changing people's lives in rural communities and communities that are in real difficulty, because it takes time to get it done. And so much more. It's going to take time, but it's there. The road ahead is clear, assuming we sustain it. There's so much we can get done and will get done based on the way the legislation was passed. And it's truly historic. You know, we're leaving behind the strongest economy in the world. I know people are still hurting, but things are changing rapidly. Together, we've changed America for the better. Now we have 74 days to finish the term, our term. Let's make every day count. That's the responsibility we have to the American people. Look, folks, you all know it in your lives. Setbacks are unavoidable, but giving up is unforgivable. Setbacks are unavoidable, but giving up is unforgivable. We all get knocked down. But the measure of our character, as my dad would say, is how quickly we get back up. Remember, a defeat does not mean we are defeated. We lost this battle. The America of your dreams is calling for you to get back up. That's the story of America for over 240 years and counting. It's a story for all of us, not just some of us. The American experiment endures. We're going to be okay, but we need to stay engaged. We need to keep going. And above all, we need to keep the faith. I'm so proud to have worked with all of you. I really mean it. I sincerely mean it. God bless you all. God bless America. And may God protect our troops. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
That was President Biden. There you go. What'd you guys think? Talked about how there's going to be a peaceful transition of power. Talked about how it's in the tradition of the U.S. to have this this transition of power and to have these elections. And he talked to his Democratic supporters and encouraged them to get back up and not be too upset and be resilient. And what else did he say? Oh, he also said, you can't love your country only when you win. You can't love your neighbor only when you agree. Calling for unity. You can't love your neighbor only when you agree, he said. All right, I want to take some comments from you guys. Give me one moment here. Let me read some comments from you. By the way, I saw some comments people made when he was talking, and one person said he is sharp today. One person said he sounds better than in the past 4 years. I certainly think, it was one of his better presented speeches where he seemed to have a bunch of energy, good volume in his voice. So what do you guys think about this? Give me a shout. I want to hear from you. Take some of your comments on the air. Deleted says one of his better days. Joe Nalinu thought it was a good speech. RT says, who was that guy? Uncle Brandy thought it was a great speech. Dub Standard says, so rich coming from him who has been so divisive. Lunali Sirius said, good speech and no mumbling. Wesley Wyndham Price says, dignified at least was good. Original Bagel Boy thinks he wasn't speaking to the nation, he was speaking to his fellow Democrats. It seemed to me that some of the speech was for the nation and some of the speech was more directed to Democrats. Eddie Alvarez thought it was a lot of nothing. Our viewer, hang on. I want to read some more comments from you guys. Beast Psycho said he still did the whisper. Sharkingly says, you know, it was good when even the haters can't think of something bad to say. Well, some viewers have some criticisms of it. I was thinking to myself, is he more kind of just, now that this is over, and now that he knows he's not going to be president, the election is over, is there a bit of weight off his shoulders? Is he feeling just a little more relaxed? I mean, obviously he's still president, which is an enormously weighty responsibility. But is part of him a bit more just relaxed because he doesn't have to worry about the election anymore and all the stuff that's been going on since June? I was just thinking that. One of our viewers, Christine Eagle, said, good speech and peaceful, he looks better. Willie G says, I'm no fan of Biden, but I have no issues with the speech. Didn't really seem necessary. Robin says he spent his life in service, and whether people agree or not, they should respect that. Dems pushed them out and placing her hurt all of them. People are wrong to blame him for the whole of what is broad. I think the message got cut off. Thomas Darwin says, waiting for Trump to announce his cabinet. Oh, sorry, I know when I turn my head with my... Normally I don't wear my glasses on the stream, and when I wear my glasses on the stream, if I turn my head, my eyes can kind of disappear because of the green screen. Oh, I'm sorry. You know what? The headline is the old headline because let me fix the headline. Give me a moment. Let me just fix the headline. Sorry about that. Look, for the moment, I'm going to put up while I fix the headline, I'll put up a shot of Mar-a-Lago. Then I'll read some of your comments. Here is Mar-a-Lago.
America.
Well, hold on, whoa. What are we hearing? Oh, sorry. Here is Mar-a-Lago. It's a live shot of Mar-a-Lago while I fix the headline. Actually, I'll leave that up there for a second, but I'll fix the headline here. Then I'll go back to that so you can see it. There's what's going on at Mar-a-Lago right now. All right, let me read some more comments from you guys. When does the transition start? Well, I'm sure the Trump team is already working on transition stuff, so I don't know if you mean a specific part of the transition. But they're supposed to meet soon, I believe, Biden and Trump. Pixel Panda, thanks Pixel Panda. Pixel Panda says, this is how you concede. Does Trump know the word? American Proud says, will he pardon Hunter? Now, repeatedly, his administration has said he would not pardon his son, Hunter Biden. Now, Hunter Biden, if I remember right, has been convicted. And is he still on trial for one of his trials? I have to look this up. I have to look it up. Yes, he has pled guilty to tax charges, federal tax charges, and was convicted of firearms charges. I think he hasn't been sentenced yet, if I have that right. Wikipedia says that the press secretary of the White House reiterated that a pardon and commutation are still off the table at a press conference she gave on the day his plea in the tax indictment was accepted. But he definitely could get jail time. So he pleaded guilty to tax charges and was convicted of firearms-related charges. This was this past year. Janet Fitzgerald thinks Trump will pardon. Okay, I'm going to ask a poll question about. I'm going to ask the chat a poll question about Hunter Biden. That's a good idea. Will Hunter Biden get a commutation/pardon? Yes from Joe Biden, yes from Trump, and then no. Those are our three options. Okay, I'm going to ask the chat a poll right now. You get three choices. I wonder if they'll talk about it in private. But if you're Joe Biden and you really care about it a lot, are you going to trust that Trump would do it? What if Trump says, "Look, I'll do it"? Let me ask Twitch the poll too. Let me ask Twitch the question too. Will Hunter Biden get a commutation/pardon? Yes from Biden, yes from Trump, no. Because he very well might get jail time. Just so you know, guys. Okay, here is what YouTube said. I asked you guys, will Hunter Biden get, as I put this up here, will he get a commutation pardon? On YouTube, 37% said yes from Joe Biden. That'd be a big deal because his administration has repeatedly said that was not going to happen. 20% say yes from Trump and 42% say no. Wow. How about on Twitch? What does Twitch say? Let me show you what Twitch has to say about this. %. I know it's kind of hard to see the questions and the answers, but the first answer is from yes from Biden. 24% yes from Biden, 23% yes from Trump, 53% say no. Yes, Biden already spoke. If you want to see Biden's address, rewind the broadcast. You can rewind the broadcast to hear what Biden had to say. I'm going to see if I can find you something more about that. Give me a moment here. Give me a moment here. That is a good question. I had forgotten about that. That's a good question. As to whether the whole pardon issue. Excellent question. Thanks for asking it. All right, I'm going to end this poll. I'm going to end this poll. Thanks for voting. Take some more comments from you guys here. Lily Hayes thought it was a very good speech, and this is coming from a Trump supporter. I'm actually impressed. That's what Lily Hayes says. A bunch of Trump supporters have said in the chat they liked his speech. Now, I'm wondering if Trump had lost the election, would there be as much, and Biden had given a similar speech, would the Trump supporters who liked the speech like it just as much? I honestly don't know. You know, in this age of same with Biden supporters, you know, in this age of partisanship, I don't know. People are so hyper partisan. But I think it's nice to see. I think it's nice to see people who support one candidate saying something nice about the other candidate. I'm all for that. I like to see that. We'll see in the inauguration what Trump says in the inauguration and what Biden supporters say about that. I'll be reading your comments when the inauguration happens. EBZ's Gatorade bottle says the vibe is better now. We're all friends. No, obviously Biden wouldn't make the exact same speech if Harris won because it's a different situation. Paul Tissue says, where was this version of Joe when we needed him? Jen B says they should pardon each other. Joe should pardon Trump and Trump should pardon Hunter. It seems fair. What do you think about that, guys? What do you think about this suggestion from Jen B? That Biden would pardon Trump and that Trump would pardon Hunter Biden. That's an interesting suggestion. What do you think about that? Our viewer S. Jati Pepe says it can happen. No? Why? Everybody's saying no. Everybody in the chat is saying no. Sounds crazy? Not a fair trade? How about is there any chance Biden would pardon Trump? I'm going to ask that poll question. Will Biden pardon Trump? That's a juicy question. Let's see what our viewers say. One of our viewers said, I like it. What a way to transition. Let's see what you guys said about this question. That's an interesting question. Okay, over on YouTube, I asked you, will Biden pardon Trump? And on YouTube, the vote is 77% say no, but 23% say yes. As you see the Coast Guard at Mar-a-Lago. U.S. Coast Guard boat at Mar-a-Lago, where Trump is. I assume he's there right now. Thank you, Katie Singh Arniha, who says he should pardon Trump to avoid constitutional crisis. You mean like if Trump tries to pardon himself? Thank you, Katie Singh Arniha. Let me show you what people on Twitch had to say about this. You guys are pretty close on this one, YouTube and Twitch. You're pretty close. On Twitch, it is 22% yes, 78% no. Carl West says, Trump doesn't deserve a pardon. Who's going to pardon Trump for what he's about to do? We know it's coming. That's what Carl says. ZZ Fly says, will Barron Trump run for president? I think you have to be a certain age. "35 years old to be president." So he can't run in 2028. He's 18 right now. For Doxy Mom says, pardon both and let's move on. Scotty Does Know says he doesn't need to pardon him. Jack Smith is shutting down the 2 investigations. Well, so it's an interesting point. Jack Smith is there's a Justice Department policy where they don't prosecute a sitting president. But in theory, the cases could continue after he's president, I believe. I don't know if shut down means like permanently shut down or temporarily shut down. It's an interesting question. Hang on a second here. Hey, let me show you something here. Let me show you something about this. Let's talk about that for a second. It's a good question. Here's an article from the Washington Post about this. Thanks for voting in the chat. Most of you think that Biden will not pardon Trump. Check this out. As Trump wins White House, special counsel weighs how to end trials. See? So, according to the article, actually, I'll show it to you here. As Donald Trump clinched his resounding victory, the 4 criminal cases against him seemed to begin their march to dissolution. The election win prompted special counsel Jack Smith to start discussing how to wind down the 2 federal prosecutions of the president-elect. One case accuses Trump of hoarding highly classified documents after leaving the White House. The other charges him with trying to overturn the results of the 2020 election. In New York, meanwhile, Trump's lawyers were expected to try to delay his upcoming sentencing in state court on 34 felony counts of falsifying business records to conceal a hush money payment to an adult film actress. The possible slowing down of the federal cases, which could in theory barrel forward until Inauguration Day, could give Smith time to deliver a final report detailing the findings of his 2 probes to the Attorney General Merrick Garland before Trump becomes the 47th president. Garland has indicated he would make the special counsel reports public if they reach his desk. A Trump campaign spokesman said Trump's victory at the polls shows Americans believe the cases against him are political. Smith must also weigh how to proceed with his appeal of U.S. District Judge Aileen M. Cannon's decision to dismiss the Florida classified documents case. All right. But anyways, I'm trying to find more about the whole, could the cases get picked up after he's president? The Justice Department has long recognized that presidents are immune from criminal prosecution while in office. As Justice Department Attorney Michael Dreeben acknowledged to the Supreme Court in April, he can't be prosecuted while he's a sitting president. Even after he becomes president, Trump will owe potentially hundreds of millions of dollars in civil fines and judgments related to a business fraud case brought by New York Attorney General Letitia James and a pair of defamation and sexual assault cases brought by the writer E. Jean Carroll. He is appealing all 3 of those cases. Then there is a Georgia trial. Look at this. Regarding the Georgia trial against him for election interference, Trump's lead attorney in Georgia previously argued that if Trump regained the presidency, the case would have to be delayed until 2029. The prosecutor in that case, Fani Willis, has strongly implied in the past she will seek to move forward with a case against Trump unless a court blocks her. Anyways, it didn't really, what I was looking for is more of a discussion of like, what would the federal cases, could they be picked up against Trump, after he's president? That's what I was trying to figure out. Maybe it says something in here about it. There's Jack Smith. AP, special counsel evaluating how to wind down 2 federal cases against Trump after presidential win. By moving to wind down the cases before the inauguration, Smith and the Justice Department would be averting a potential showdown with Trump, who as recently as last month said he would fire Smith within 2 seconds of taking office. It would also mean Trump would enter the White House without the legal cloud of federal criminal prosecutions that once carried the potential for felony convictions and prison sentences. I'm so confused about this question of now, maybe, let me just look up one other thing here. Because what I was wondering, is there a world in which the prosecution for those cases, I think maybe Trump, I don't know the whole thing about Trump, if he wants to have those, if he wants to make it so that he can't be prosecuted for the federal cases after he's president, does he have to try to pardon himself? Or can he just say to the Justice Department when he's president, hey, you should just drop these cases for good? I don't know if that all makes sense. Sorry, our viewer Joao Pereira says, I think he can get rid of state charges. He can't get rid of state charges. He can't pardon himself for state charges. That's true. Redux thinks all cases will be dropped. Anyways, I'm sorry I don't have better legal information on that. It's a legal question. Lori Murphy says DOJ must prosecute crimes or future presidents will try to do it. Consequences for actions. Nico Niemi thought Biden spoke well today. So I'm just trying to find you an answer to that question. Jake says he's been convicted. There's nothing to pardon. I believe you can pardon yourself for future crimes. You can pardon yourself for things that... You can pardon someone for things they haven't been convicted of yet. That's my understanding. Yes, look. This is from the Justice Department website. Can the president pardon someone before they are indicted, convicted, or sentenced? It would be highly unusual, but there have been a few cases where people who had not been charged with a crime were pardoned, including Gerald Ford's pardon of President Nixon after Watergate, President Carter's pardon of Vietnam draft dodgers, and President Bush's pardon of Caspar Weinberger. President Trump pardoned Joseph Arpaio and others after they were charged and convicted but prior to sentencing. Thank you to Evie1973, who says, I pardon everyone in the chat. I don't. But thank you, Evie1973. Thank you also, Dad1978, who thinks Trump's case will be overturned. No need for pardon. There's multiple cases, by the way. Thanks, Ann Breedenstein, for your support. Ann says, Biden's message was positive. Thanks, Joe. Thank you also, Eris Kalar, for your support. And Lidwine Elizabeth. Thank you, Lidwine Elizabeth. Lidwine says, stress increases issues like problems with speaking, etc. Does seem like pressure is gone for a big part for Biden, and that improves his health. Thanks also, Carrier Kyle, for your support. And My Dog Daisy. And CB. And Keith M., I missed this before. Keith M. said, come on, guys, I'm a Republican, but let's be honest. Joe did a good speech just now, very respectful. No matter how he voted, let's give some respect. Thank you also, Richard Trickle, for your support. Anyways, I'll try to do some research and find out some more legal details about all the court case stuff. Okay. If you missed it, Biden spoke earlier. Look, for people who joined late before we end the stream, I can play Biden's speech again if you want to see it. It wasn't very long. Should we just watch it one more time on a replay? It's just a couple minutes long. Why don't we? Because if you don't want to watch it, you don't have to watch it. Why don't we show it one more time on a replay? Yeah, some people didn't see it, so that's what we're gonna do. It was not long. It was just a few minutes long. So let's do that. Let's do that. I'm gonna do that. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, so we're gonna do a replay here. Obviously, it's not Mar-a-Lago. And I'm going to say, not live. Replay from earlier. Now you know. All right, let's watch it. It's not long. And just for those of you who didn't see it, here is what Biden had to say.
Good morning. Good morning, good morning. Thank you, please. Thank you. Good to see this cabinet and the staff together here. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's good to see you all. Particularly good to see my granddaughter sitting in the front row here. Hi, Finn. How are you, honey? For over 200 years, America has carried on the greatest experiment in self-government in the history of the world. And that's not hyperbole, that's a fact. We're the people. The people vote and choose their own leaders, and they do it peacefully. And we're in a democracy. The will of the people always prevails. Yesterday, I spoke with President-elect Trump to congratulate him on his victory. And I assured him that I'd direct my entire administration to work with his team to ensure a peaceful and orderly transition. That's what the American people deserve. Yesterday, I also spoke with Vice President Harris. She's been a partner and a public servant. She ran an inspiring campaign, and everyone got to see something that I learned early on to respect so much, her character. She has a backbone like a ramrod. She has great character, true character. She gave her whole heart and effort, and she and her entire team should be proud of the campaign they ran. You know, the struggle for the soul of America, since our very founding, has always been an ongoing debate and still vital today. I know for some people, it's a time for victory, to state the obvious. For others, it's a time of loss. Campaigns are contests of competing visions. The country chooses one or the other. We accept the choice the country made. I've said many times, you can't love your country only when you win. You can't love your neighbor only when you agree. Something that I hope we can do, no matter who you voted for, is see each other not as adversaries, but as fellow Americans. Bring down the temperature. I also hope we can lay to rest the question about the integrity of the American electoral system. It is honest, it is fair, and it is transparent. And it can be trusted, win or lose. I also hope we can restore the respect for all our election workers who busted their necks and took risks at the outset. We should thank them. Thank them for staffing voting sites, counting the votes, and protecting the very integrity of the election. Many of them are volunteers who do it simply out of love for their country. And as they did their duty as citizens, I will do my duty as president. I'll fulfill my oath, and I will honor the Constitution. On January 20th, we'll have a peaceful transfer of power here in America. To all our incredible staff, supporters, cabinet members, all the people who've been hanging out with me for the last 4 years, God love you, as my mother would say. Thank you so much. You put so much into the past 4 years. I know it's a difficult time. You're hurting. I hear you and I see you. But don't forget all that we accomplished. It's been a historic presidency. Not because I'm president, because what we've done, what you've done. A presidency for all Americans. Much of the work we've done is already being felt by the American people, but the vast majority of it will not be felt over the next 10 years. We have legislation we passed that's just only now just really kicking in. We're going to see over $1 trillion worth of infrastructure work done, changing people's lives in rural communities and communities that are in real difficulty because it takes time to get it done. And so much more it's going to take time, but it's there. The road ahead is clear, assuming we sustain it. There's so much we can get done and will get done based on the way the legislation was passed. And it's truly historic. You know, we're leaving behind the strongest economy in the world. I know people are still hurting, but things are changing rapidly. Together, we've changed America for the better. Now we have 74 days to finish the term, our term. Let's make every day count. That's the responsibility we have to the American people. Look, folks, you all know it in your lives. Setbacks are unavoidable, but giving up is unforgivable. Setbacks are unavoidable, but giving up is unforgivable. We all get knocked down. But the measure of our character, as my dad would say, is how quickly we get back up. Remember, a defeat does not mean we are defeated. We lost this battle. The America of your dreams is calling for you to get back up. That's the story of America for over 240 years and counting. It's a story for all of us, not just some of us. The American experiment endures. We're going to be okay, but we need to stay engaged. We need to keep going. And above all, we need to keep the faith. I'm so proud to have worked with all of you. I really mean it. I sincerely mean it. Well, God bless you all. God bless America. And may God protect our troops. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
All right, that was President Biden. I'm going to read a few more comments by you guys about the speech. I got some comments before I wanted to mention. Give me a moment here, as we'll put back on. Oh yeah, okay. So I Am Jonathan said that they sent out Robot B to speak to everyone. Our viewer, I Am Jonathan. So Jonathan thought he did a good job, better than he normally does. A number of our viewers thought that he was he was a strong speaker today compared to some of the speeches he has made. Tori M. Spears says, on the Biden scale of competency, it was okay, but it is amazing the Biden legacy goes out with a whimper. Our viewer Matt C. says, I think Biden did better than Kamala's speech. By the way, earlier, our viewer John Turpin said that he thought that Biden would talk about the peaceful transfer of power, which he did, and will call for no violence on January 20th when Congress certifies the election. I don't think he specifically mentioned that, but he certainly mentioned a peaceful transfer of power and saying that the election system was fair. Missile Hatch says Biden is just happy it's over. Daniel Hubble thinks it's a very stark difference between calling him Hitler to now say, I don't think Biden called him Hitler, between calling him Hitler to now saying they are going to have a safe and easy transition. I think a lot around the world is going to happen before January 20th. This lame duck period is going to be wild, in my opinion. That's what Daniel said. John Coyne thought Biden spoke early because he's tired in the afternoon and screws up. Oh, I just saw this. Our viewer Rain Wrapped said he or she didn't think it mattered who would have ran against Trump. He was winning regardless. All right. I was just trying to get some more of your comments. Oh, oops. The clock is still there. I didn't even see that before. Sorry. It's probably been there forever, that clock. What happens is we do the broadcast, and I'm not on this shot because I'm always showing something. And then we come back here after the speech, and then I forget that the clock is on. It's probably been there for 20 minutes. I'm sorry. No, it wasn't, because we were showing the other shot before. Sorry about that. Anyways. Sorry about that. Minibit says, I think he spoke very well. April Coco says, he's a good person. I wish him well. Fred Flintstone says he should have specifically apologized to us for the garbage comment. Now, he did post like the day after he made it about that comment. He did a post about it. All right, I think we're getting close to that time. Guys, Todd USA says he did better than his last speech. I think we're getting to that time. I think it's getting to be that time right now. I will show you what he posted about the garbage comment, though, just because people mentioned it. He said here, earlier today, this was before, he said earlier today I referred to the hateful rhetoric about Puerto Rico spewed by Trump supporter at his Madison Square Garden rally as garbage, which is the only word I can think to describe it. His demonization of Latinos is unconscionable. That's all I meant to say, he said. The comments at that rally don't reflect who we are as a nation. That was what he posted about it on October 29th. Anyways, but look, I do certainly think he spoke well today. He seemed like in a good, one of our viewers said he was in a good mood. I don't know if he was maybe a bit more relaxed now that the election is over, but certainly one of his stronger speeches that I can remember in terms of, how well he spoke, the volume and all the clarity. April says he only said people were garbage. Some people were garbage, not everyone. I'm going to let you guys debate the garbage comment. So I really appreciate everybody joining us for our live coverage of Biden's address to the nation. We may have more live coverage today of other big news events, depending on what happens. This is Agenda Free TV. We cover all kinds of live breaking news here without an agenda. So I hope you subscribe and follow the channel Agenda Free TV. Also, turn on our notifications. We come on whenever there's big breaking news. A lot of the time, I don't know when there's breaking news. It just, it happens, and then I rush on the air. So to get a notification sent to you every time, so you know when we're going live, so you don't miss a stream, sign up for our free notifications. We have our own notification system. We set it up on Discord. It's free. All you do is sign up one time. The mods will post a link to that in the chat, and you can find the notifications link in our YouTube and Facebook description for this broadcast. Also, I will post news updates during the day when I'm not on the air on my X account, which is @Lookner on X. You can follow me there for breaking news coverage @Lookner on X. Let's thank, I really appreciate you being here today. Thanks for your comments. I liked seeing some unity in the chat today, seeing some people it was nice seeing people on one side offering some positive comments for people on the other side. It's always nice to see. So I appreciate you joining the broadcast, and thanks for a lot of interesting comments today. So thanks for letting me read your comments on the air. Hey, huge thanks to our moderators. They're the best. They are why we can have chat rooms. They're the ones keeping it civil and respectful in the chat. So big thanks to our moderators over there on YouTube, Rosie Freckle and Ruth Krafasi, for example. Thank you. And all of our other YouTube moderators who've been there. On Twitch, A Moment of Lovely, Bash and Girl, Good Luck Duck, I Got That Fire, Surly Dev, and our other Twitch moderators. Big thank you. Kay Lowry Body over there on Facebook, Charlotte Webb, Margaret Riley. Thanks so much. Linda Belk and Larry on X. And all of our other moderators, huge thanks. And thanks to everybody who donated. That's really nice of you guys. That is how the channel can be on the air. Your guys' support, I really appreciate that. Hopefully I didn't miss anyone. Oh, Chronic Pain, our new member. Thanks, Chronic Pain. And everybody else who donated, really nice of you. Thanks for supporting the channel and letting it exist. If you ever want to donate to the channel, you can go to agendafree.tv, agendafree.tv. And let's see here. Also, we have a chat. When we are not live, we have a chat that you can chat with where you can chat with other viewers when we're not on the air. It's on Discord. A lot of our viewers like doing it. It's the same link as the notifications link. So check out our free Discord chat, our viewer chat. And thanks so much to our Discord mods as well. And also, I would recommend following Agenda Free TV on X. I post scheduling updates there, some news about the channel sometimes, and always post there before we go live at Agenda Free TV on X. And a little reminder, people are asking about Middle East coverage. We just did Middle East coverage last night. We'll do more Middle East coverage. When there's big developments in the Middle East, we'll do more coverage. We'll do it. We just did it yesterday. I don't know. Somebody messaged me last night and they said, are you ever covering the Middle East again? And they didn't know that I had just covered it. Just covered it last night. Let's see here. A reminder for people who subscribe on YouTube. To turn on the YouTube notifications, you got to do this thing, which I will show you. If you subscribe on YouTube, make sure you turn the notifications on by clicking on the notifications bell and choosing all notifications. Click the bell and choose all notifications. Make sure you do that on YouTube. Okay. Let's see. Hey, thanks to our Twitch subscribers for supporting the channel over there on Twitch. I really appreciate it. People like Wall Street and Shaggy and White Wolf and Tatermong and the Metalomaniac, Jack's Animals, I Got That Fire, R Factor NYC, Tectonic Passenger, thanks for subscribing. And Dren Crow, Mr. Bigley Uncredible, and all of our other Twitch subscribers. Thanks so much. Our Facebook subscribers too, Eve Richards, Diane Allworth, Margaret Riley, Kayla Ribati, Michael Clayton, Robert Rial II. All of our Facebook subscribers, thanks so much for your support on Facebook. And all of our YouTube members, shout out to you. People like Richard Brennan, UV Lightning, Longboard Ninja Master, Jesse's Girl, The One and Only, Winding Road, D. Maynard, Jean Romaine, Marissa Pugliese, Harper Ann, Riding Dirty Llama, Cyan Brown, Paula Faust, April Coco, Mr. Katz, Nicole WB, Life's Over, Hypno Llama, Bath Chakama, Isaiah, Eric Johnson, Eliza Jane, Xanthos, Cindy RN, Fred Flintstone, New Eurekan Joseph, J.K. Cinar, GM2 Rob Guns, Nicole WB, Armed Vet, Fagan, Harper and all of our other YouTube members. Thank you. Rick D. Thanks, Scooter, for watching. Bruce Davenport, Paula Thompson, all of our other viewers as well. Christy Claft, Janice Keysmith, Dennis McNeely. Janet Carroll Legg thought it was a very nice speech. All right, guys, so we're wrapping this up. I really appreciate you being here. And next big news, we will cover it. All right? So, thank you so much. Ooh, what happened? Sorry. I missed it on the screen. I missed on the screen that popped up there. People were like, why? That was the YouTube page that shows up after the video ends. On the Biden White House page. That's what that was. Okay. That is it for now. Hey, thanks so much for watching our live coverage of Biden's address to the nation, and we will see you soon with more live breaking news coverage right here at Agenda Free TV.